We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello students, myself Dr. Rupali Vigul, Assistant Professor in Civil Engineering Department SVT Vasar. Today I am going to cover very important topic that is called as global environmental issues. I will be covering this topic in 3 parts. Today we will discuss about part 1. So that is included in GTU syllabus of all the branches of first and second semester in the subject. So first we should understand which are the factors which has already disturbed our global ecosystem. So very first reason is population explosion. If population explosion is there, it will result in imbalance in demand and supply. Environment જે supply કરે છે that is limited and our population increasing day by day, and due to that imbalance in the demand and supply has occurred, and that huge demand of shelter, food, water and other natural and man-made resources that has increased, and due to that it has resulted in the imbalance of demand and supply. Nature cannot fulfill all the demand because we have polluted, we have reduces the resources available in the nature. Next is rapid industrialization. So for the industry there are more and more consumption of natural resources that are taking place, and at the same time they are affecting the environment or degrading the environment due to the pollutions. All this water pollution, air pollution, land pollution that are all created by the industry. Next is urbanization, शहरीकरण, imbalance that has resulted in imbalance in villages and city population by the migration of people. People are thinking that કે ભાઈ વિલેજમાં તો કંઈ કામ નથી, અમારે અર્બન એરિયામાં જવું છે, તો અર્બન એરિયા પર વધારે સ્ટ્રેસ પડે છે, and that has deteriorated the quality of air, water and land on urban areas. Also the modern lifestyle, everyone they are trying to live in a modern lifestyle. AC જોઈએ, fridge જોઈએ, then all the modern gadgets there. So that has increased more and more energy demand, and to fulfill that energy demand more and more resources that are consumed, and generally for the energy demand we are using non-renewable resources like coal, etc. Coal thermal power plant, that is major one. So that has resulted in the degradation of environment. So basically all these about 4 factors, they are responsible in creating the global environmental problems and issues. Now we'll discuss all the global environmental issues. So major there are 4 global environmental issues that we are facing today. So first one is global climate change, global warming and greenhouse effect, acid rain and ozone layer depletion. So these are the 4 major issues that is faced by all over the faced by all the people throughout the world. That's why it's called as global issues. But other environmental problems and issues are also prevailing in the environment, that is depletion of natural resource, degradation of environment, land and soil degradation, habitat destruction. Many species of organism એ ડિસ્ટ્રક્ટ થઈ રહી છે, એક્સટિંક્ટ થઈ રહી છે, જે પહેલાં હતી હવે નથી. Loss of biodiversity, then water scarcity, then water pollution, all the different types of pollution, food shortage and health problems. So looking to this present day scenario of our environment, world community has realized that કે આપણે બહુ જ બધું environmentને harm કરી ચૂક્યા છે. We should do something for our environment. So they have realized the importance of environment, and they have tried to control the environmental problems through the concept which is called as sustainable development. So this is very important if we want to save the future of our future generation, coming generation, that you people. So in your GTU syllabus, in the contents, these are the topics included in this: sustainable development, global climate change, then global warming and greenhouse effect, acid rain, ozone layer depletion, carbon footprint, CDM, and international steps for mitigating the global climate change. So basically I will be covering this part in 3 different sections. First I will discuss the sustainable development and climate change. Second part I will be discussing all the major issues that are global warming, acid rain and depletion of ozone layer. And third part, that is basically not the issue but it is related to solution part. how we can try to reduce or mitigate the whatever global climate change has taken place by taking the initiative of calculation of carbon footprint, cleaner development mechanism, and whatever steps which are taken by the international communities to mitigate means to try to reduce or try to whatever results are there, try to reduce the impact on the environment, means try to control the pollution or global climate change. So first we will understand what is the meaning of sustainable. So basically since 1980 sustainability is used as a term more in the sense of human sustainability. માણસ કેટલું લાંબુ આ પૃથ્વી પર જીવી શકશે, and this leads us to the concept of sustainable development. So if you just see its dictionary meaning is very simple. The sustainability means able to continue over a period of time, લાંબા સમય સુધી ચાલે એવું, long lasting you can say. So it caused little or no damage to the environment and therefore able to continue for a long time. જો એન્વાયરમેન્ટને હાર્મ ના કરે તો તમે લાંબા સમય સુધી આ પૃથ્વી પર રહી શકો. સો દેટ કન્ટિન્યુઝ ફોર અ લોંગ ટાઈમ વિધાઉટ ડેમેજિંગ ટુ ધ એન્વાયરમેન્ટ. દેટ ઇઝ ધ meaning of sustainability. So this sustainability, it is important for all the range of people and industries, because if environment is disturbed then we will be disturbed, because we are directly dependent on our environment. Related to current rate of development, leaving suitable resources behind for later generation to continue to develop. આપણે તો જે ડેવલપ કરી દીધું, but future generation has to develop themselves also, so we have to think for them. Then involves the dual issues of environment and society. So here, as per this Brundtland report released by UN in 1980, the definition of sustainable development was given, and that is a development which meets needs of the present. This is the key point, needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own need. ફ્યુચર જનરેશનને કોઈ પોતાની નીડને સેટિસ્ફાઈ કરવા માટે કોઈ કોમ્પ્રોમાઇઝ ના કરવું પડે. સો દેટ વી હેવ ટુ કીપ અવર એન્વાયરમેન્ટ ઓફ દેટ ક્વોલિટી, એર, વોટર, લેન્ડ એવા ક્વોલિટીના આપો ફ્યુચર જનરેશનને કે એમને પણ પોતાનું જે રિસોર્સની જે રિક્વાયરમેન્ટ છે that would be satisfied. So we have to satisfy our need, at the same time we have to check the ability of the future generation so that they can also meet with their own need. Means it's future generation, we have to think for the future generation, and it should be a everlasting development. So this involves environment, economy as well as social aspect. So for a particular process to be sustainable, કોઈ પણ process sustainable કરવી હોય તો there are two major aspects. One, it should not cause irreversible change to environment. Environment પોતાની જાતે પોતાને ક્લીન ના કરી શકે એવું ચેન્જ નથી કરવાનું. Okay, so that is irreversible change to environment. Second, it should be economically viable and it should benefit to society. So principles of sustainable development is having two basic criteria. First, application of strategies of resource conservation. જે પણ resource છે available in nature, we should try to conserve it. Energy efficiency, because energy generation that demands maximum resource, so energy efficiency is very important. And improve transport, because fuel, that is non-renewable resource, that majorly we are using in vehicular traffic, and at the same time it is resulting in vehicular pollution, air pollution also. So that transport system is very important, so that methods are to be developed, and focus area is this. Next is change in the attitude among the public as well as government. જ્યાં સુધી ગવર્મેન્ટ એન્ડ પબ્લિક પોતાની જાતે ના વિચારે કે મારે એન્વાયરમેન્ટ માટે કંઈ કરવું છે, તે એવા લોઝ ના બનાવે, it is very difficult to go for the sustainable development. So here these three pillars whatever of sustainability I have discussed, it is same, it is related to society, it is related to economics, it is related to environment. So we have to think from people's point of view, from economic point of view as well as from environmental point of view, and then we have to design everything. So here sustainable development goals that are given here: no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, this is related to people, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work in economy. So these are all which are given, that are called as the goals to be satisfied for the proper development, that is called sustainable development. So basically this agenda 21 that was given in Earth Summit. So this is very famous summit that you should know. So it was established in 1992 which is called as United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, UNCED, which is more commonly known as Earth Summit, held in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, that has given the blueprint for the sustainability in the 21st century. And it was whatever agenda that was given, okay, that is to be followed in the 21st century, which is called as Agenda 21. It was agreed by most of the governments, okay, and that is also monitored by the International Commission on Sustainable Development. And it addresses the development of societies and economies by focusing on the conservation and preservation of our environment and natural resource. So these principles were outlined in the famous Rio Declaration, which is called as the Rio Declaration on Environment and Development in Earth Summit, which is called as Agenda 21, to be followed in 21st century for the sustainable development. So according to that, major issues addressed were societies and economies related, energy sector, transport sector, poverty and health, population, business and industry, how much consumption is done and how much waste is generated, how the waste is managed, that is important. Conservation and preservation. Related to that, atmospheric protection is very important. Climate change, ozone depletion is to be observed properly. We have to see the health of our ecosystem also. Major thing is agriculture, forestry and biodiversity. Then ocean and fresh water, fishing, as well as water quality criteria will involved. So for any country, these are the major principles to be adopted for attaining the sustainable development. So we'll discuss now concept of sustainable development, that is our focus area. First, reduce population, so that population growth, because imbalance is created due to that only. So we have to try to control the population by making some laws, etc. Minimize or avoid the dependence on fossil fuel. जितना कम हो सके उतना use करो fossil fuel. We have to judiciously use these non-renewable resource like petrol, diesel, coal, etc. More use of renewable resource, solar, wind, etc. Recycling and reuse of material for the waste minimization. So due to this, we can reduce the waste as well as we can conserve the fresh water source also, and as well as fresh material also. Improve the efficiency of all the process, so that will also help in waste minimization. Eliminate the poverty in the developing nations by social and economical development of community. So this poverty reduction is also major target. Then restore and preserve the biodiversity, because many extinct species are there. So we have to think that in future it should not happen. Use of cleaner fuel and technologies, so that generate very less waste, or nowadays the concept of zero discharge that has come up, means we are not discharging anything which is harmful to environment, which is called as zero discharge. And create the legislative mechanism. Legislative mechanism means kaido and rules and regulations by the government. It has to be enforced properly to maintain the environmental aims. Then develop individual and collective culture of participating in local, regional and global level. દરેક લેવલ પર કામ થશે, લોકલથી લઈને ગ્લોબલ સુધી, then only we will be able to achieve this particular goal. Then mass transportation system, this is the major thrust area in which we have to work together. Then efforts in maintaining the sustainability by developing the EIA. This EIA is environmental impact assessment. If any industry is coming up, then we have to first get the assessment कि what will be the impact, and environment पर શું impact करશે, air, water, quality, then land, how will it affect, that we have to carry out. Then environmental management system, basically this EMS, it is ISO certification in the range of 14,000. It says that if an industry is having EMS, means they are managing all their pollution within the level, and they are basically managing all the systems which are environmental friendly. So by adopting all this concept, you can go for the sustainable development. So indices of sustainable development means indicators. अगर कोई पण countryમાં अगर તમે જોવું હોય કે sustainability develop થયું છે કે નહીં, then you have to think for these factors or indicators. First is economy is to be checked, employment, inflation, then government ક્યાંથી પૈસા લઈને આવે છે, કેટલું એના પર ઉધાર છે, that is economy related part. Transport, કારનો યુઝ કેટલો કરે છે, નંબર ઓફ શોર્ટ જર્ની કેટલી થાય છે, ફ્રેટ ટ્રાફિક કેટલું છે, બિકોઝ દિસ ટ્રાન્સપોર્ટ સેક્ટર ઇઝ વેરી ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ સેક્ટર. દેન લેન્ડ યુઝ, કઈ ટાઈપનું લેન્ડ યુઝ છે, અર્બન ડેવલપમેન્ટ, ગ્રીન સ્પેસીસ. દેન વોટર રિસોર્સ, વોટ ઇઝ ધ ડિમાન્ડ એન્ડ સપ્લાય ઓફ ફ્રેશ વોટર. દેન રેનફોલ ડેટા, and forest cover કેટલું છે, ટ્રીની હેલ્થ કેવી છે, ગ્લોબલ ચેન્જીસ, how much it has taken place, global temperature changes, greenhouse gas emissions, etc. Ozone layer depletionની હાલત શું છે, એના ozone concentration, CFC consumption, then acid deposition, measure SOx and NOx emissions that is to be maintained, then quality of air, all the pollutants which are responsible for air pollution and reduction કરવાનું છે, then fresh water quality which is supplied to your home, its pollutant and its monitoring, and how much they are giving expenditure to the treatment of that waste water જે તમારા ઘરેથી આવે છે, સીવેજ ટ્રીટમેન્ટમાં કેટલું આપે છે, and how we are trying to reduce the water pollution. Then marine water quality is very important, then oil spill discharge and fish, that is its health, etc. Contaminants કેટલા છે ફિશમાં, so marine water quality is also one of the aspect. Then wildlife and habitats, so that is to avoid the extinction of species. Then agriculture, productivity, which type of fertilizers and pesticides they are using, organic, inorganic, chemical, etc. Then quality of soil, heavy metals in the soil, waste generation કેટલું generate કરે છે waste, household as well as industrial waste, recycling and landfill facility, then radioactivity, population exposure to radiation, nuclear waste, etc. So these are all the indices or the indicators that will give the status of a particular region as far as the sustainable development is concerned. Now we'll talk about climate change, but before understanding this climate change we should know the concept of weather and what is the difference between weather and climate. So basically weather is related to short-term phenomena or short-term change which takes place in atmosphere. So this weather may change minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day and season to season. If you feel very hot in early morning, then it may be very cold in the night, so that is just the weather change. So minute to minute it may change. So basically there are 6 components included in that: temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind, humidity, precipitation, that is rainfall, and cloudiness. So basically if this weather pattern, that is if you are doing average of that over a long period of time at a particular place, it is generally termed as climate. So basically climate refers to the weather pattern using statistical data of a place over long enough period, minimum 30 years, to yield a meaningful averages. So basically climate is a long-term weather pattern report, you can say, and basically it is average of all that weather pattern that we are. So Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, they have used the data obtained by NOAA, that is National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration USA, as per Climate Change 2014 report. They have given some causes of climate change, because some studies are required, that is over decades, so to prove that climate has changed. So for that they have found following reasons. First is anthropogenic greenhouse gases emissions have increased since pre-industrial era, that is pre-industrial phase karta anthropogenic, that is related to human resource, that is human made or man-made resource, you can say man-made greenhouse gas emission that is increased, and that is driven by all these reasons that we are knowing. Then this has led to atmospheric concentration of CO2. Major greenhouse gas is CO2, so that has increased the concentration of CO2, then methane and nitrous oxide, and at least જે પણ તમારો જે લાસ્ટ યરમાં જેટલા થયા છે એનાથી વધારે it has increased in this decade. So this effects together with those of the anthropogenic drivers that has detected throughout the climate system, and it is extremely likely to have been the dominant cause of the observed warming since mid 20th century. So most of the result that shows that mid of the century થી જ આ બધું 20th century that is responsible for major climate change. So here 5 observed changes that are given to the climate system. So major 5 changes they have observed, and based on that they have concluded that global climate change has taken place. Increase in the global concentration of CO2 and other greenhouse gases, as explained by me, that is emission of these greenhouse gases are the highest in the history. अभी जो भी है that is highest in the history, and this greenhouse gases emissions since the pre-industrial era have been driven large increase in the atmospheric concentration between 1750 to 2011, and cumulative emission to the atmosphere were 2040 plus or minus 310 gigaton of CO2. and this 40% of this emission that has remained in the atmosphere માં જ રહી ગયું છે, and this particular rest was removed from the atmosphere and stored on the land, and the ocean has absorbed about 30% of emitted anthropogenic CO2, causing the acidification of the ocean, and about half of the anthropogenic CO2 emission is between 1750 to 2011, and whatever is occurred, half of that is in last 40 years. Means you can understand how much impact we have done in last 40 years. જેટલું પણ એમિશન વધ્યું છે એના હાફ તો તમારે લાસ્ટ 40 યર્સમાં થયું છે in the increase in greenhouse gas emission. So this is the graph which shows this global anthropogenic CO2 emission that is continuously increasing. You can see here there is a rapid growth of increase in all the concentration of CO2, CH4 and N2O, and also this cumulative emission that you can see, that is from 1750 to 2011, and major changes you can observe, sharp increase that is observed in last 50 years. So here second observed fact is increase in global temperature. So each of the last 3 decades that have been successively warmer in the earth space, that is than the preceding decades since 1850. last 3 decades સૌથી વધારે ગરમ રહ્યા છે, and 1983 to 2020 was likely to be the warmest 30-year period over last 1400 years in northern hemisphere, and due to this average temperature that has increased both for land as well as ocean surface. લેન્ડનું તો વધ્યું છે, ઓશનની સરફેસનું પણ વધ્યું છે, and that warming is 0.85 degree centigrade over the period of 1988 to 2012. So range is given here. Decline in the Arctic sea ice. So annual mean Arctic sea ice extent, it is also decreasing over the period of 1979 to 2012, with the rate is in the range of 3.5 to 4.1% increase per decade. 10 વર્ષમાં આટલું બધું ચેન્જ થઈ જાય છે, and this Antarctic sea ice extent increase in the range of 1.2 to 1.8 per decade between 1979 to 2012. So you can say that Antarctic and Arctic sea ices that are increasing at very faster rate within last 30 to 40 years. Then decrease in the land ice. Over period this 1992 to 2011, Greenland and Antarctic ice sheet that has been losing their masses, and that is rate is also increasing, and Antarctica is losing 100 cubic meter of ice per year since 2002 due to increase in surface temperature and changing snow cover. So you can say that in last 40 to 50 years it is crucial as far as the global climate change is concerned. Also this rise in sea level is observed. This 1901 to 2012 global mean sea level has rose by 0.19 વધી ગયું છે, and then global average sea level had risen at the average rate of 1.2 mm per year. એક વર્ષમાં 1.8 mm વધી રહ્યું છે, and the rate of this sea level rise since mid of the 19th century have been larger than the mean rate during the previous 2 millennium. 2 millenniumના જેટલો ચેન્જ નથી થયો એટલો ચેન્જ 19th centuryમાં ઓબ્ઝર્વ કરવામાં આવે છે, એનાથી વધારે. So you can understand in last few years, that is 30 to 50 years, how much impact we have made on global climate change. So here this average combined land and ocean surface temperature that are given here in this particular figure, and this is globally average sea level changes, how much they are changing. So maximum changes that are observed here in this range. So what are the impacts of this climate change? So total climate change has occurred, and due to that earth will rise its temperature 1.4 to 5.8 degrees centigrade in near future, so that we are already observing global warming. Then due to this warming, poles would be 2 to 3 times more than the global average. जो भी warming हो रहा है poles पे is more than that global average. Also rise in temperature will intensify the hydrological cycle that has disturbed our hydrological cycle. Rain pattern पूरा change हो चुका है, कहीं ज़्यादा बारिश आती है, कहीं कम बारिश आती है, drought हो रहा है, कहीं पे बहुत ज़्यादा flood आ रहे हैं. So that has disturbed it. Changing precipitation or melting snow cover and ice that are altering the hydrological system and affecting our water resource in the quantity as well as quality. Global average sea level had risen at the rate of 1.8 that already I have talked you. Then ocean acidification is also occurring Then increase in the extreme high sea level and heavy precipitation events in the number of regions are observed, and which has threatened the life of the people living nearby 60 kilometer to nearby sea, and increase the area that will be affected by the drought. So that is irregular pattern of rainfall. Decrease in the cold temperature extremes and increase in the warm temperature extreme. કોઈ પણ હશે extreme થશે, ગરમી વધારે, ઠંડી વધારે, that extreme conditions would be observed. There will be increase in intense tropical cyclone activity. Then frequency and intensity of El Nino likely to increase. So this El Nino is very important criteria as far as the weather changes and climate changes are concerned. Increase in the region of 2 degrees centigrade or above would lead to increased frequency and intensity of fire. જે forest fire વધી રહી છે, that will also intensify. Increased frequency of wildfire as a result of global climate change will lead to the increase in the amount of CO2. Global fire થશે, so that will also increase the CO2, and then will all alter your carbon cycle. Then disappearance of the glaciers will be observed, and that will affect all the water availability for the human consumption, agriculture and energy production. Then spread of vector-borne disease like malaria, dengue, that will also intensify. So this rapid climate change, 1/4 of the Earth's species would be headed to extinction by 2050. So this is very dangerous remark that was given. Whatever global climate change is rapid speed से बढ़ रहा है, उससे 1/4 of the Earth species that can be headed to extinction, वो कहीं दिखेगी नहीं 2050 के बाद. So that level we have reached up to this. So to summarize, just high temperature, that is global warming, changing landscape, risk of wildfire, rising sea level, increased risk of drought, fire, flood, all due to that water cycle disturbance, strong storms, then more heat related to illness and diseases, and there's economic losses. So these are all problems that we are facing, and that are all that is related to global climate change. So global warming is one of the impact of that global climate change. So in the global climate change impact, just we'll see in this, the cryosphere, that is frozen water of the earth melt हो रहा है, large and large sheets they are melting, the oceans are getting hotter and hotter and expanding and becoming more acidic. This is the second impact. Then Antarctica and Iceland, they are melting, and they are just responsible for increasing the sea level. Then more climate change effect, that is this polar bear. In 2008 it has become first animal to be added to the endangered species act, and due to global warming उसका रहने का उसका habitat ही disturb हो रहा है due to this melting. Then more is Arctic is already suffering, and sea creatures are suffering because उनका habitat खराब हो रहा है. Arctic creatures need ice, but it is vanishing. जो भी उनको ice चाहिए वो मिल नहीं रहा है क्योंकि ice is melting. Next is Earth's water system becoming off balance. Whatever we have done, that is emissions, has emissions of this heat trapping gas, that is greenhouse gases, due to our burning of fossil fuel, and for the energy generation it has resulted in the heating, that is global warming, and it has affected this all water system, typically the function on our planet, and normally the cyclone and hurricanes that are coming and that are regularly destructing our nearby coastal region. Then bleaching of coral reef, जो भी समुद्र के नीचे जो coral reefs होता है उसका भी bleaching हो रहा है, color and that destruction is taking place. And wildfire, this is you are knowing now that in Australia that the wildfire has taken place, that was very bad. Then burden on the people and society, and human life is thrown out of the balance, where how and where we are growing, that will also affect our climate normal pattern, and that increased in the pressure on our health, infrastructure and economy, that is observed due to our extreme weather conditions, and that is ponds dried due to drought. So कहीं drought है, कहीं पे बहुत ज़्यादा पानी आ रहा है. Threat to agriculture, it has major threat on the agriculture, so you can see the difference. Warmer polluted air affects our health also, infrastructure and transportation all are at risk. Then this food pattern will be disturbed by this global climate change. Then more threats, just you want to summarize. Changing temperature are causing vegetation shift and conservation challenges. Sea level rise, that will displace tens of millions of people. who are living nearby coastal region. Climate change is making flood, fire, droughts and more frequent and severe. बहुत ज़्यादा उसका जो frequency है that is increasing and also it is severe. Intensity ज़्यादा हो गई है frequency के साथ साथ. Climate change will cause storms, hurricanes and tropical storms to become more intense, as well as frequency is also increasing nowadays. Regularly we are observing cyclone etc. Climate change brings health risks to the world's most vulnerable communities. जो भी vulnerable है that are nearby that particular coastal region, उसकी that health risk is always there. Climate change is already affecting economies around the world, and now in this coronavirus that you can see how we are due to our one activity that is related to food, you can say food habit, and how that has affected the whole globe. So this way you can say that whatever activity that we are doing, it is affecting globally. So now looking to current scenario, you can say that we have made our this particular earth that is a ball of fire, and now with our effort of sustainable development we have to make it again better for a living planet for our life. So thank you very much. Whatever climate change has taken place, please contribute at your level. Whatever you can do, try to mitigate the global climate change. Thank you very much.